Today, Tuesday of the 5th week of Lent, we come to the church Santa Maria in Via Lata. If the Via del Corso could tell the tale of its history, it would make for quite a story, since along this route have passed some of the great figures of this city's history, including Caesar coming into the city after crossing the Rubicon, and Constantine after his victory at Milvian Bridge. Archaeologists have found remains dating back to the 1st century after Christ beneath the church. In the 3rd century, a large outdoor portico with several small shops was built on this site, running from here up as far as Piazza Venezia. At some point after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, some of this structure was converted into a diaconia, part of which was a small oratory. This transformation happened possibly as early as the late 5th or 6th century. Some rooms from this oratory remain underneath the present church, containing fragments of frescoes depicting various Christian scenes and saints. Some centuries later, the diaconia was replaced by a church, consecrated in 1049. This church had the opposite orientation as the current one, with the sanctuary being closer to the Via del Corso, also known as the Via Lata, or Wide Street, because this was one of the largest streets in the city at the time. Around this time, this church became used for the stational mass of today. Some points of interest include the high altar, which contained relics of Saint Cyriacus and Agapitus. The apse was designed by Bernini, and the Madonna icon is from the 12th century. There's also the Lady Chapel, which houses the tombs of Napoleon's family. The chapel in the Chapel of the Crucifix in the Chapel of the Crucifix, dates from the late 1600s. There's also a false dome. We can note the fine perspective of the ceiling's false architecture. And finally, we see the Scavi entrance. The excavations lead through many layers of history, as the site served successively as a Roman warehouse, a low-security prison that could have temporarily housed some of the apostles, a diaconia, a small oratory, and finally a church.